Hi everyone, Erin here from Real Wig Fun. Thanks for joining me today. So today we're going to take a look at two brand new Noriko wigs, and I'm really excited because these are my first two Noriko wigs. So I'm really eager to share with you my thoughts and feelings on these brand new styles. And I need to thank Wigs by Patty's Pearls for providing these wigs so I could provide reviews for you here today. So stay tuned. So recently Noriko launched their 2021-22 collection of 3 brand new wigs. And today we're going to take a look at 2 of those 3. So why don't we get started with the one that I have on my head, which is Harlee. And this is in the color Creamy Toffee R. Okay. So Harlee is a ready-to-wear medium to longer length wig with a lace front and a left-handed lace part. So before I take the wig off so we can take a look at the inside of the cap, why don't I share with you some of the dimensions? I'll do a 360 so that you can see Harlee on all sides. So what I would say is Harlee certainly has many long layers. The fringe, it starts here with an 11-inch fringe. Okay, the crown from here is 8.5. The nape is 8.7, and the weight on Harlee is 4.4 ounces. So I know many of you ask the question, does it have permatease? And there is a little bit of permatease. So here is the left-handed lace part, so you can see the illusion of scalp. And I would say you are going to find a little bit of permatease right around here to the right side of that left-handed part. And for those of you that know me, I'm not a fan of permatease. However, this amount on this style, I can deal with it. It seems very well placed and reasonable for this style. Okay, so I'll get up close so that you can see this lace front. As I said, I'm brand new to the Noriko wigs, so I was really eager to take a look at the style and the lace and the fibers. My first observation about the lace is it is very comfortable. It's not itchy, but it's certainly, when it's off my head, I can feel that the lace is thicker and I would say likely sturdier than some of the other wigs that I've tried. The other thing is the lace front is not extended, okay? So you will see here, this is where the lace ends. So the lace runs approximately here to here, okay? And then goes back, it's a generous parting space with that lace. It goes back quite far, which is really nice. The one thing that I was worried about with Noriko wigs, and one of the reasons why I haven't tried Noriko wigs up to this point, is the perception of the sizing and that it runs quite small. So I have a 22-inch circumference head, and because of that, I did honestly shy away from the Noriko wigs. But I can tell you, when I got the wig, I did move the adjusters all the way to the furthest point, and I put it on I put it on waiting for it to be tight, and it was wonderfully comfortable. So for those of you that were similar to me, that were worried about the sizing and the fit on Noriko, at least with this piece Harlee and as well as Zane, that we'll take a look at in a minute, both fit me wonderfully well. Okay, so here are the ear tabs. There's really generous coverage on my temples. Okay, so there is Harlee from the front, Harlee from the right side, and from the back, from the left side, and back to the front. Okay, so let's take a look at the cap construction. So there is up close, you can see that lace front that runs back into this part. And as I mentioned, it is quite wide, so it does give you some room to flexibility for your parting. And this space in here is where I'm talking about that there is a small amount of permatease. Okay, there are felt covered ear tabs. There are metal stays. Obviously on both sides, and then it's wefted side back. It does have the extended nape, which I really like. It does have the bra strap adjusters versus the Velcro adjusters. Okay, so you can adjust this based on your head circumference. So let's take a look at this color, Creamy Toffee R. Okay, so it is a rooted color. It is a blend of light platinum blonde and light honey blonde with brown roots. So I think that the rooting is done really well. And you know what? For those of you that are familiar with John Renault, to me, this color, and you may have already thought it to yourself, to me, this color looks very much like John Renault's 12 FS8. Okay, so here's the second wig that we're going to take a look at, which is Zane. And I have Zane in the color Sugar Cane R. Zane is really a mid-length, around your shoulders, synthetic wig. And as you can see, it does have a side swept fringe at the front. And really, I think that this wig is really a pop on and go. It's going to be really easy to wear. It does have a lace front, a lace part, the same construction as Harlee that we looked at earlier. So I'll do a spin so that you can see Zane on all sides. So here is the front, the right side of Zane, the back, my left side, and back to the front. So as for the measurements on Zane, this fringe at the front that you'll see is 6.9 inches. The crown is 8.6. The nape is 4.9, and this wig weighs 4 ounces on an average cap. So I will show you up close that lace front, same as the Harlee that we looked at before. The lace runs from about this point to this point. And then you have that lace part that provides for a scalp-like appearance that goes back quite far. So as far as this color, Sugar Cane R, it's really a blended color, and it's got a blend of strawberry blonde with, you'll also see some fine platinum pieces going through the piece. And it's also mixed with some light auburn highlight throughout. And it is a rooted color with a medium brown root that I think is done well. I would say on average that I would call this color neutral to warm. So being my first time wearing a Noriko wig, I wanted to share with you my thoughts. First on the fibers. I think the fibers are great. They're very lifelike, they feel good, and I suspect that the longevity on these wigs are going to be really good. And the reason I say that is the lace front is very hardy, as I would describe it. I think the biggest surprise for me is really the fit. So I was expecting these to be too small for me, to be very honest with you. And I was really pleased to see how comfortable the cap actually is. So that was my biggest surprise. I'd like to compare the two styles that we took a look at today. Again, Zane, and then this is Harlee. So I think there's a lot of similarities. Number one, the fibers are identical, obviously. The cap construction is exactly the same. The fit is exactly the same, at least on my head, on the two pieces that I have. There is that same level of permatease, which isn't too much, in my opinion, right to the right side of that lace part. You know, if you're trying to decide between these two, I think they're both great options. I think they're both very wearable options. The key difference between these two styles is obviously this one's shorter and this one's longer, but this one obviously has a more intentional fringe. So if you do like some face framing layers, I think that Zane will give that to you, and perhaps not as much given that this front section on Harlee is considerably longer than the fringe. So lastly, I wanted to share with you, what did I do, if anything, before making these videos? And I absolutely did two things, okay? Number one, dry shampoo. These fibers did have a level of shine that I wasn't quite comfortable with, so I did use a generous amount of dry shampoo, but that's an easy fix. I wouldn't allow that to deter you from exploring either one of these styles or the Noriko fibers. The second thing that perhaps is a little bit more challenging is that both of them are floppers. And what I mean by that is right out of the box, it did not part and sit as it is sitting right now. It was like this. So this wouldn't deter me away from these wigs. You just need to know when you get it out of the box and you put it on your head, I don't want you to be disappointed when it flops in your face. So here's what I did to help out with mine. I put them on my mannequin head. I took these pieces back, okay? And I clipped them back there and I kept them there for a couple of hours, all right? So the other thing that you can do is with the heat of your hand, hold down the fibers and allow that to cool. And it's the heating of your hands and the heat that helps to redirection. As you can see, it just did it beautifully there. Redirect the fibers so that these fibers stay out of your face. And then the third thing that you could absolutely do is use a little bit of holding spray. So I would encourage you to hold it back like this, a little bit of spray, and that will also help keep those fibers away from your face. I'm going to insert a few pictures that I took before making this review so that you can take a look at these two different colors, which is Sugarcane R and Creamy Toffee R. These images are side by side, so you can see for yourself some of the differences in the colors. So I hope you found this review helpful. If you are interested in purchasing these wigs, they can be found at wigsbypatty'spearls.com. Thanks and have a great day.